Today is Thursday, October the 9th, 2025. My name is Thom, and this is your AmCon Daily Brief. Today, how to identify your own blind spots, the daily routines and habits that quietly increase your risk. First things first, here's the latest info from your ASAT team in today's Daily Sit Rep.
This is your AmCon Daily Sit Rep for October the 9th, 2025. Up first today, Israel is launching a significant campaign to boost support among U.S. Christians, spending over $4 million. This campaign involves the use of cutting-edge geofencing technology to target attendees at major churches and Christian colleges in California, Arizona, Colorado, Nevada, and Texas. The goal is to increase positive associations with Israel while countering pro-Palestine narratives. Concerns have been raised about privacy infringements, as this geofencing surveillance will be ongoing. In other news, the price of gold has reached an unprecedented high, briefly touching $4,005 an ounce before settling just below $4,000. This surge is attributed to investor fears amid the ongoing U.S. government shutdown and escalating trade tensions. Gold has become the top major asset of 2025, outperforming U.S. stocks and cryptocurrencies as uncertainty drives demand for safe haven investments. Turning now to civil unrest, a pro-Palestinian protest in Boston escalated into a riot with 13 arrests reported. Violent clashes between protesters and police occurred after demonstrators blocked intersections and assaulted officers. Authorities remind the public to maintain situational awareness, especially in areas with large gatherings, as this marks the 2-year anniversary of the October the 7th Hamas attack on Israel, a period noted for increased tensions. Meanwhile, the United Kingdom is facing widespread backlash over its recently announced mandatory digital ID program, dubbed BritCard, which critics argue may lead to mass surveillance and digital control. Although the U.S. government is not currently pursuing a similar mandate, over a dozen states have begun issuing digital IDs. Experts emphasize the importance of understanding digital ID technologies and privacy implications as debates continue around personal data security. Finally, nationwide protests and civil unrest continue to pose safety concerns. Members are advised to stay alert, know exit routes when attending events, and report any suspicious activity to authorities and the ISAT team through designated channels. On the weather front, expect heavy rain and an increased risk of flash flooding across the southwest as moisture from Tropical Cyclone Priscilla moves north. Coastal flooding, high surf, dangerous rip currents, and gusty winds are forecast along the southeast and mid-Atlantic coasts through the week. Residents in affected areas should stay informed and exercise caution, particularly in burn scars, slot canyons, urban areas, and Central and South Florida, where isolated flash flooding is possible. Looking ahead to events this week, American contingency members can participate in the Northeast Region Adventure Challenge starting tomorrow in Hookstown, Pennsylvania. Additionally, the Broward County chapter will host a situational awareness meetup on Saturday in Sunrise, Florida. That wraps up today's key updates. Members can access the American Contingency Members-Only site to get the full report and more in-depth analysis of today's stories, along with practical preparedness tips, training opportunities, and resources to help you, your family, and your neighborhood stay crisis ready.
Daniel knew the route to work like the back of his hand. Same road, same time, same stop for coffee, every morning. But last week, a delivery truck had sideswiped a car right in front of him. The kind of out-of-nowhere moment that makes you rethink your routine. As the tow trucks cleared the scene, Daniel realized something. This wasn't bad luck. It was a pattern. Same lane, same merge, same timing, and all it took was one distracted driver to turn routine into risk. We all fall into patterns. Look, you've probably done exactly what Daniel did. And that's where most risks hide, not in the chaos, but in the comfort. Personal risk awareness starts with seeing where you've gone on autopilot. It's like the drive to work, the evening walk, same grocery run every Saturday. Those patterns make life easier, but they also create predictability. And predictability is what risk feeds on. Spotting personal risk doesn't mean living suspiciously. It means noticing your routines and asking simple questions. What has changed? What am I assuming will always be the same? What would happen if it wasn't? Those questions build awareness that keep you ahead of the surprise. Inside the Essential Situational Awareness course, there's a short worksheet that helps you map your personal risk zones, where you spend time when you're most distracted and what's around you in those moments. The point isn't to make you paranoid, it's to make you intentional. Daniel's morning didn't end in disaster because he was paying attention. The pattern didn't change. He did. He left 5 minutes earlier, switched lanes, and started watching for cues instead of running his commute on muscle memory. That tiny shift turned his routine from vulnerable to resilient. Preparedness isn't just about the big emergencies. It's about being honest about what the small risks are that build up over time, the ones we can see coming if we're willing to look. So today's challenge is just to pick one routine. It could be your drive, your walk, even your morning coffee stop, and look for one small risk you've been ignoring. Maybe it's a traffic merge, maybe a dark parking lot or a blind corner. Acknowledging it and adjusting for it, and to see how quickly awareness changes your confidence. All right, that's it for today. When we chat tomorrow, we'll talk about context and how your environment changes your level of risk and why awareness needs to adapt with it. Well, that's it for today's AmCon Daily Brief. Thanks for listening. Members, check out today's resources on the members-only website or on your phone app. If you're not a member yet, head over to AmericanContingency.com and start building real resilience today. If you found this helpful, share this podcast with someone you care about. I'm Thom Rigsby. Stay alert, stay ready, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow.